Something felt off before the night even began. The tone inside the room was already shifting. What followed quickly raised serious new questions, and the timeline only made it more confusing, because within minutes, narratives were already forming, and those narratives spread faster than facts. The evening was meant to be ceremonial and controlled, a gathering of media, officials, and political figures. Security presence was described as unusually intense. Veteran reporters noted something felt different this time. Layers of protection surrounded the entire venue. Yet events unfolded that challenged those expectations. Reports began circulating of a possible shooting nearby. Confusion spread almost immediately across the room. Guests reacted before details were fully understood. Some were told to stay calm and remain seated. Others saw movement and heard urgent commands. This is where the situation becomes more complex. Within minutes, social media lit up with reactions. Influencers aligned with political messaging responded instantly. Their posts followed a strikingly similar pattern. They focused less on the incident itself. Instead, attention shifted toward a specific narrative. Calls for new infrastructure quickly dominated discussions. The speed of that messaging raised eyebrows. It did not appear spontaneous or uncoordinated. Statements were posted within a very narrow time frame. Some accounts reacted in under 10 minutes. That raises important questions about preparedness and whether messaging was already pre-planned. At the same time, confusion inside the venue continued. Security personnel moved rapidly through the building. Agents were seen directing people toward safe areas. Certain sections were cleared with urgency. Others remained uncertain about what was happening. Information was fragmented and inconsistent. Eyewitness accounts varied significantly across the room. Some reported loud noises near entry points. Others described sudden movement from security teams. There were reports of people being guided away quickly. Yet no clear confirmation of the threat was given, and that uncertainty only fueled speculation. Outside the venue, the situation remained unclear. Initial claims suggested a threat near the building, but details about a suspect were inconsistent. Some reports said the individual was contained quickly. Others indicated confusion about the exact location. This lack of clarity became a central issue. Meanwhile, political figures reacted in different ways. Some appeared calm and composed throughout the situation. Others were seen leaving areas more urgently. The contrast in behavior drew public attention. Observers began analyzing every movement carefully, and interpretations varied widely across platforms. In the aftermath, messaging shifted even further. Focus moved away from the incident itself. Instead, broader political narratives took center stage. Security concerns were reframed into policy arguments, and infrastructure proposals gained sudden prominence. Here is where things shift again. Rather than investigating the sequence of events, many discussions centered on future construction plans. The idea of a more secure venue was emphasized. Supporters argued this incident proved its necessity. Critics questioned the timing of those statements and whether they were connected to the event. At the same time, media coverage faced criticism. Some viewers felt key questions were being ignored. They expected deeper analysis of security failures. Instead, coverage appeared fragmented and reactive that created a gap between expectation and reporting, and the situation became increasingly polarized. Witness testimonies continued to emerge gradually. Some described moments of panic and confusion. Others recalled being quickly escorted to safer locations. Security teams were described as highly coordinated, yet questions remained about how the situation developed and whether it could have been prevented. Another detail added to the complexity: communication inside the venue appeared inconsistent. Some individuals received warnings earlier than others that raised concerns about information flow and whether all attendees were equally informed. These gaps became a key point of discussion. Meanwhile, external reactions intensified rapidly. Public figures began commenting across platforms. Some praised the response of security agencies, others focused on political implications of the event. The conversation quickly moved beyond the incident itself and into broader narratives about leadership and control. This shift in focus created new layers of debate. Was the response appropriate under the circumstances? Were there missed signals before the incident occurred? And why did messaging align so quickly afterward? These questions remain central to the discussion, and they are unlikely to fade soon. Another important aspect involves timing. The incident occurred during a high-profile gathering that naturally increased its visibility and impact, but it also raises concerns about vulnerability. If such an event can be disrupted so easily, what does that imply about overall security readiness? Observers also pointed to prior statements. Comments made earlier in the evening gained attention. Some interpreted them as coincidental. Others viewed them as potentially significant. This raises important questions about context and how words are interpreted after events unfold. As investigations continue, clarity remains limited. Official statements have been cautious and measured. Details are being released gradually over time, but gaps in information still persist. And speculation continues to fill those gaps. That dynamic complicates public understanding. At the same time, political narratives are evolving. Supporters and critics are interpreting events differently. Each side emphasizes different aspects of the story, and that divergence shapes public perception. The situation is becoming more complex, with no single narrative dominating entirely. Security experts have also weighed in cautiously. Some highlight the effectiveness of rapid response teams. Others question how the situation developed initially. Both perspectives offer important insights, and both suggest areas for further review. This conversation is far from over. The broader implications are still unfolding. Events like this often lead to policy discussions. They can influence future planning and decision-making. But they also require careful analysis, two separate immediate reactions from long-term conclusions. And that process takes time. What happens next will be closely watched. Investigations will aim to establish clear timelines. Authorities will examine how systems performed and whether improvements are necessary moving forward. Public trust will depend on transparency and the clarity of those findings. For now, uncertainty remains a defining factor. The incident raised more questions than answers, and those questions continue to circulate widely. Each new detail adds another layer to the story, and each perspective shapes how it is understood. This is where the story continues to evolve. As more information emerges, interpretations may shift. Initial reactions often change with new evidence. That is a natural part of complex events, but it also highlights the need for careful reporting and measured responses from all involved. The situation remains under close observation. In moments like this, clarity becomes essential. Understanding what truly happened matters deeply, not just for those directly involved, but for the broader public as well. Because trust depends on accurate information and consistent communication. The coming days will be critical. They will determine how this event is remembered and what lessons are ultimately drawn from it. For now, the focus remains on uncovering facts and separating them from speculation and narrative. That process is still ongoing. Subscribe to Real Mind Network, like, comment, and share.